Welcome everyone to the Stitchin Post. This is Knitting with Nancy and I'm here with Trish today and we're doing our Lang knit along with the Crealino. So the first thing we're going to show you though is two brand new colors that we brought in of the Crealino. So kind of peachy pink, but look at this steel blue, really pretty blue on it. So great new colors. I'm going to go over some other new products that we have, but not right away. What I want to talk about on the sweater knit along today is how to measure. And then I got a question on two things. One, how it's done in the round. So I want to address that. And also, how do we measure correctly again, which I don't think they looked at other ones, so we're going to do it again. So here we go. First, if you're going to do this in the round, which is fine, and the only reason why I'm not doing it in the round is because I'm doing it as a knit along and I do what the instructions say, which is front and back. If it was just for me at home, possibly, knitting in the round certainly is a little quicker. So you're welcome to do that. It also will change your tension, so please pay attention to gauge again, because knitting in the round is different than knitting and purling back. You will get a different gauge, so you must keep track. Otherwise, it's really easy. Just put double the amount of stitches, your front and your back. You want side markers, and then follow the pattern as written. But every row is a knit row. So if it said purl all the way back and then knit a row, purl a row, what you're doing in pattern is straight knitting and you'll be in pattern. You still will have your edge stitches and you want to keep both on each side, front and back, so they're symmetrical on it, and it'll kind of give you a fake seam. All of that is fine. My advice though, in doing anything in the round, I always do the first row flat. And what do I mean by that? If it says cast on 100 stitches for the front and 100 for the back, I'm actually going to cast on 201. Now this pattern, which is doing a different rib, I'm going to do my first row flat before I join in the round and put my markers, so it means I'm going to knit or knit purl, the rib, 100 stitches, place a marker. I'm going to do the next 100 stitches and I'll have one stitch left. And rather than don't do anything with that, just rest that stitch on your right hand needle. And then you can kind of put all your stitches out as if they're little soldiers, so they all flange out, and make your round, and you're getting ready for what would be round 2. You're going to slip that unknit stitch over to the left hand needle. My yarn will be on my right hand side. I'm going to put a marker in and stitch 1, which would be the knit through the back loop. I'm actually going to knit 2 through the back loop. And thus from there on, I'm joined in the round. Now, why do I do it that way? I like it because it butts my stitches up as opposed to stacking. It also gives me less of a chance of putting a torque in and twisting my stitches on the first 1 row or 2 rows, because it gives me an edge to work with, my cast on in row 1. If you twist it, you will never untwist it. You've made a Mobius, which means you have to start over. So by doing row 1 flat, you've avoided that heartache. So here we go now on the 2 things I want to go over today as well. One is how to measure. And I want to show really cute tape measures from Lantern Moon. These are probably my favorite. Those who know me know I love black sheep. And so we have 3 colors. They're $16.50 a piece, and you pull out and it will hold, and then in the back there's a little button, and you just push the button and in it goes. Really cute. So here we go to measure. Again, if you notice, I'm padding flat. I'm going to start right at the bottom, which is here on this one, for 1 inch, and I'm going up. I'm not stretching this up. I want to make sure I get a true measure, and as you see, I'm probably 2 rows less than 8 inches, and we have to go to 11. So if you were knitting in the round, you still lie it flat and measure up to 11 inches. So I still have a ways to go. I do want to bring up gauge again, because last week I talked about it and how I have some really big stitches, and I am now on a size 2 needle to keep my gauge in gauge. That makes sense. But when I wash it, I'm not too concerned about this, because once you do a wash and go to block, you will never notice. Plus, I like the look of this. It's the linen, it's how linen knits for it, so I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. The other thing what I want to show today, and again I'm pulling up from Coco Knits, a stitch fixer. This retails for $6, but I'm going to slip some stitches to the side and show how to fix. I had someone come in who said, I don't know, and I made a mess, and it's all meshuggah, and they didn't know how to pick up a stitch and fix it. So if you're local, I'm happy for you to come in and do it. But I'm gonna drop a stitch down here. So here's my stitch, and it unknit. So there's a couple of ways you can fix it. I can just pick it up with my needle and keep flipping it up and over in the knit. Same thing. Or what I like doing better, because it's a little easier, is taking my little fixer crochet hook, and you're literally just pulling it in, one right after the other, and putting it on the needle. Now I like this one being double-ended, because if this was garter, I don't have to hold it, go back and forth. It does it for me. Now what happens, and I had another person ask me, she forgot to do a yarn over. And so she realized that she was missing a yarn over here. So if I take this and pretend that 2 or 3 rows down here, I forgot my yarn over, I can come in, pick that bar up, kind of stretch it a little, and again, pull each one through, each bar through that loop. And put that up on my needle. Now, that makes it, yes, a little tight, but again, in the washing, if I wanted that as my yarn over, it will open up later and I can continue in pattern. So if you did forget a yarn over on this side, you can pick it up and work it in. That is doable. So just a quick little fixing tip on this. The other thing I want to show, just because I'm enjoying using it, again from Coco Knits, it retails for $41.50, the magnetic board. And why I like this board, and those who know me know I use a lot of different ones, I've tended to just use this now, is because down here, this bottom, both pieces here and here are magnetic. And all their products then stick on both. So I can, and later, my next knit along is doing charts and is a scarf, or a shawl I should say. And that way I can put a chart here and my key down here and tools that I can use to succeed in cables. So I really like the advantages of having magnets here and magnets here. And we sell extra of their Coco Knits magnets. So really good products to have in your tool bag. And of course, a gauge, so you know. So I forgot to show you, Trisha's telling me our also new product is called the Mindy sleeve from Lantern Moon. And this is magnetic here. And although it doesn't it will also magnetic here. But why I like this is, and it has a little cover to protect things, but my tools fit in here. So not only can I put my fixing tools, but I could also put my darning needles in here. And it will then also stick to the board. So kind of all works together, and it's tools to make it a little easier for us to succeed. I love them. I hope you will as well. We have 4 different colors. So a blue, a burgundy, a gray, and of course those who know me, I love green, and they retail for $16.50, and they're available online as well. Or just give us a call, we'll ship it right out to you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.